What's up, y'all? So this isn't a weekly vlog. Bruh, a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. A lot of crazy stuff. Like this has been a rough month. At least I would say for me, but also just in general. Because for me, I mean, I think we've already kind of went through what this month has done for me. But just in general, it's just ridiculous. Okay, for one, the Francis Scott Key Bridge incident, where the ship like hit the bridge, and now there's like a lot of people like lost their lives. This is disturbing. This is a thing that I feel like we really do need to kind of just sort of like take some time and pay attention. Like I really like I'm starting to think that we shouldn't, as a society, just keep moving forward despite all of the trauma. Like I feel like we kind of do need to just sort of like take a step back and realize some stuff just shouldn't be overlooked. Some stuff just we can't just like imagine having to take a big step over a corpse just to get to work. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's kind of where we are now. Like we're just at this point where it's like, oh, it's just another corpse, whatever. It's like, no, that's not normal. Things aren't normal. We have to start saying that stuff isn't normal because some stuff just ain't normal. That's not something that normally happens. That's a crazy thing that happened. And now, because there's a crazy thing that's happened, you got people who are even crazier trying to make it into something even more crazier than it already is. Like the right wingers are now trying. Like Alex Jones said that World War III has begun. Remember Alex Jones, the same dude that tried to convince you that the new Civil War was happening on camera, but it wasn't. I'm just saying, like, if anything, if anything, this is what motivated me to like try to get back into like try to learn about cybersecurity and stuff because we're starting to realize there are a lot of cyber attacks, there are a lot of outages, there are a lot of like it's like if there was an outage currently where I'm at, or if I just get hacked, I wouldn't know where to begin to start. So I'm trying to like that motivated me to try to like go back to learning about technology and stuff like that. I just really feel bad about the people who lost their lives on that. Those people's families just now saw somebody that was very important to them die on TV, and that's heavy, dude. What I just felt this past Monday, there's going to be people who are going to be feeling that right now, and I just hope that I'm just some random dude on the internet, but I just hope that they're okay. You know who else I think should be? You know else I hope is okay? The victims of P Diddy. I don't want to talk about P Diddy as you've actually if you followed my channel enough or if you actually paid attention to my older material or whatever. I basically make it very clear that I don't care about celebrities. I don't care about famous people. These people because I don't feel like they actually because like I don't know them. That's part one is I don't know them. I don't know these people and I will probably never know these people because these people go out of their way to make sure that people like me don't know who they are. And now I'm starting to get a gist as to why. Like it feels like every time you hear about a rich person, they're doing something terrible. They're doing something stupid or they're doing something malicious. Like it's really hard to be a fan of celebrities right now because like they don't it's really challenging to like think that celebrities actually like have good intentions like after their success because some people are just good people but some people are just bad people, and the problem is that in America we enable the successful, we enable the famous, we enable the rich, and like there's no guidelines towards like there's no like when it comes to rich people there's this whole thing about just trying to there's this whole thing about like hold on that just trying to like just sort of make good stuff happen for rich folk. It's like, well, if you're rich, then we're gonna find a way to make sure that you hold on to that money forever. If you're rich, don't worry, crime has a cost. But can you pay it though? You know what I'm saying? It's just like this is disturbing. This is disturbing, and I'm convinced now that every rich dude in America is at least some kind of predator. Like I don't even want and I don't want to believe that because that's a heavily judgmental thing. But it's like if you go down the list of some of the biggest predators that have been like mentioned by name, like on a national broadcast, like you know, President Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, Daniel Schneider, Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein again because that is a very relevant concept. Donald Trump, like all of these people have done something terrible and predatory, and they've had money to protect them from any kind of repercussion. To put this in perspective, every poor predator you know has been to jail at least once. Every poor predator that you know has seen the inside of a jail cell at least once, or is currently in jail right now. These guys are free, and one of them has a 50-50 chance of becoming president again. Again. It's like we should be putting them, like, with everything that we know about with everything we know about how the judicial system treats rich people and famous people and successful people. We should be putting a muzzle on these cats as much as possible. We should be doing everything in our power to just make sure that these people do not get any more power, authority, or any more feeling of not safety, but any feeling of just being able to just like not do anything. It's just wild to me that, like, cause like, you know, I mean, granted, like I said, P Diddy's house did get raided, but it's just the fact that it's like P Diddy, in my opinion, like he's just one of many. There's other people who probably have done this stuff. And I feel like the problem is that, like, you know, I feel like it's gonna probably just be another Epstein situation where if they lock up, Diddy, he might just get silenced in prison. And like, I'm at this point right now where I'm just like, bro, like we need to like start. We really need to start like getting these. We need to start getting these informations out of here. Out here, I feel like every victim just needs to start speaking out. Like Me Too season 4. Okay, Me Too needs to be a TV series. You know, because of the fact that it's like at this point, right? It's like, you know, we're being introduced to an aspect of being rich and famous that we never really like actually paid that much attention to. Because guys who are in power, the first thing that they love doing is flashing off all the girls they got. But we never exactly think about the girls as people who might just be attracted to the guy as much as we think about them as items and commodities that a rich guy happens to have enough of to show exactly how successful he is. These are people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are underage. So it's like, what? Why is that a thing? I'm a big fan of Run DMC, and so it really kind of hurts me to know that Russell Simmons, the brother of Run, is out here, is in Bali right now doing on some same stuff. Like, we really just like, stuff like that is kind of like, you know, stuff like that made me realize I don't know famous people enough to be so supportive of them. I can't look at a famous person who did something wrong and be like, oh man, they couldn't have done that. They couldn't have done that. No, like what? No. I don't know them. And the reason why I don't know them is because they don't want me to know them. They don't want you to know them. They want only the people who will probably keep their secrets a secret to know them. Because if a poor person comes across some rich dude doing something borderline unholy, they're probably going to talk about it. They're probably going to say something about it. They want a sycophant around them. Not all of them. And it's like I said, I know I sound heavily judgmental saying the stuff that I'm saying. But it's just the sheer fact that it's like, it's not like I'm saying it for nothing. This is some stuff that has actually happened multiple times. It's disturbing. It's something that we should be like, as a society, trying to find a way to stop. I wouldn't, like, heaven forbid, every business CEO in this country who has made over at least roughly $1 billion is probably responsible for all of the kidnappings that happen in this country. Let's not forget that there's still kidnappings that happen in this country. There's still there's kidnappings. Literal kids are being kidnapped in America right now, and we just basically normalize that stuff. Like we get the alarm on our phone, and we just have to. Do you understand? Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like it's like, well, like I said, what about the poor predators? What about the predators who, like, yeah, but they get in trouble though. Something happens to them. You could watch a forensic show from the 90s. You could watch any forensics evidence show, and it'll tell you about a guy who is financially unstable who got in trouble for committing a crime. But you know what they won't tell you? About rich people who do the same crime getting in trouble for the same thing. It's like, apparently P. Diddy's been doing this stuff for a while. It's just now falling back on him. The federal government is just now starting to get involved in this stuff that's happening with him. And it's like, if you have common sense, you're going to probably be like, where was y'all then? How the heck is it that the FBI can tap our phones and know everything about us, and there's data brokers who can get all of our private information, all this other crappity crap, but for some strange reason, Like they can't seem to figure out that P Diddy was a monster. They can't figure out what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. And it's like, and you're gonna, and the common answer is, well, I mean, they're in on it. Well, if they were in on it, they probably wouldn't have raided his house now. I'm starting to just think that the system, I'm starting to just think that the system is not necessarily corrupt as much as it's just incompetent. And the reason why it's incompetent is because people purposely make it incompetent just because we vote in people who purposely make it incompetent just so rich people can continue to get away with things. That's the reason why that's the reason why I'm talking about this stuff right now. Cause I don't care about celebrities, man. I don't care about rich folk. But I do care about the fact that the system is broken to a point where it's like I could get in trouble for simply being speculative of committing a crime, but a rich guy can do a crime for roughly over 20 years, and they could just now face repercussions for it in some fashion. Just now. I'm aggravated. Like, Lord knows what Elon Musk has done. Lord knows what every business CEO has done. Lord knows what these people, like every rich person in this country has done. But if there's one thing I know is that like rich people in this country get away with stuff. Look at Donald Trump. 91 indictments. One of them, he is found liable of assaulting a woman. And there's people out there who still like fake news. I'm going to vote for him anyway because the brown people need to be shut down, people. I'm just aggravated, man. I'm annoyed because like we really just, and also I'm really kind of getting tired of the jokes about P Diddy too, because all the jokes, it's like, you know, for all of the atrocities that man has committed that we know about at this moment, a lot of the jokes have always been about like a lot of jokes have been mostly homophobic, and I'm just like, why is the only joke that you know of about this whole scenario? First off, why are you making jokes about this situation? First of all, like I understand if you want to make jokes insulting, P Diddy, that makes sense. He's a monster. But the fact of the matter is that like, why are y'all making fun of the victims, the male victims? By the way, there was female and male victims, and you're specifically going after the males. Why? Would the jokes be less funny if all of his victims were female? What are y'all doing right now? Like, y'all still managed to, like, and also, why y'all making jokes about somebody being trafficked? I thought being trafficked was like the worst atrocity you could commit. We've basically managed to find ways we've basically gone from, you know, like some things just shouldn't be laughed at to, man, everybody can't be funny. You can laugh at anything. No, you can't. You're literally trying to make jokes about somebody being like kidnapped and tortured and trafficked. What about that is funny? Please stop. This is like because like the thing is that like, you know, because it's like, you know, you probably might be thinking that you're making jokes about a person being a monster, but the problem is that like the Omni-man memes basically made Omni fans out of people who didn't know who Omni-man was. Do you remember this? Now people like Omni-man could commit any disturbing thing that he wants to, and there's gonna be people out there like Omni-man is so cool. Because people like evil. People like evil as long as they can laugh at it. And we need to stop trying to laugh off evil. You need to be upset. You need to be outraged. You need to be frustrated. You need to be able to look at stuff and just say, this stuff is not normal. This is not normal. It should be normal. I'm not going to laugh this crap off because it's not normal.